to Dr. Hussein Said for his bringing me to this big conference and as a good organization. And I thank all the organizers for this big conference and international impressive organization. Now we will talk about cell-based therapy as a hope for incurable diseases. Stem cell, what they are and what they do. Stem cells are primitive cells found in all multicellular organisms, characterized by self-renewal and the capacity to differentiate into any mature cell type, as Dr. Shenden said in the previous presentation. These stem cells have the awesome potential for regeneration and may be used to replace or repair damaged cells. This image, as Dr. Shenden said, it is here is a stem cell which replicate, giving another stem cell which is a renewal of this cell and give specialized cells also. Why is such an interest in stem cells? Regenerative medicine promotes the repair response of disease, dysfunction, or injured tissue using stem cells or their derivatives. It is the next chapter in organ transplantation and uses cells instead of donor organs, which is limited in supply. It also hopes for incurable degenerative diseases. Also, in some cases, instead of undergoing extraordinary expensive drug treatment, the patient would be able to utilize stem cell therapy, and the patient would avoid chronic pharmacological treatment and its any vital side effect, as in autoimmune diseases. The patient must use either cortisone or cytotoxic drugs. What is this opposition to stem cell? When we hear about stem cell therapy, we are fair and say it is a fake and it is not true. So many people say that it is realms of quackery, embryonic stem cell remain controversial because of their derivation from killing early embryo. ده طبعا ما بيحصلش. It is not true because it is not from the embryo, it is from the blastocyst, which is not used after in IVF. Other stem cell cannot be changed into all different cell tissues, but we will show in the next slides that mesenchymal stem cells are multipotent and mesenchymal stem cells are an adult stem cell. Other stem cells from a person's bone marrow can be extremely painful, but it is taken under local or general anesthesia, and all procedural medicine may be painful. Stem cell research is costly process, but it is less costly than surgery and tissue transplantation. We don't know if there are long-term side effects to worry about, and since 60 years, tens of thousands of people are receiving stem cell transplant every year for blood diseases as leukemia and myeloma, with efficacy rate improving without side effect and without causing carcinoma or malignancy, but it treats carcinoma and malignancy. Stem cell therapy have no evidence to back up those claims. Thousands of evidence-based published literature we will say now. Sketchy clinics, they say, sketchy clinics pull people in with big promises and slack advertising anecdotal testimonials posted in online videos, on blogs or social media. But all medical staff in many specialties doing that with a case presentation of their treatment. They say also some mimic more reputable scientific endeavors by posting their work on clinicaltrials.gov, a federal respiratory that doesn't always vet posting to ensure their protocol need federal standards. But the USA National Institute of Health is the most specific scientific reviewer in the world. It is not a third world countries to say that. It is a powerful scientific site. If you search in PubMed or National Library of Medicine in Center of Biotechnology information about safety of stem cell therapy, it is many literature published, about 9,000, and it is increased interesting in this publication and after in the last years until now. Also, we found about 147,000 and more if we search about stem cell therapy in NIH or PubMed.gov. And also it is, the result increased by the years. And we found about more than 16 stem cell therapy, 16,000 stem cell therapy clinical trial on literature, published literature, with evidence-based study. In clinicaltrials.gov, which is the US National Library of Medicine, we found about more than 6,000 studies found. Clinical trials with on patients. This is the map showing the distribution of the stem cell clinical trials and researches. Clinical trials, these are clinical trials all over the world, showing that it is more in Europe. It's more in Germany and France and Italy and USA, and this also in Middle East and Egypt and other countries. These types of stem cell, either embryonic stem cell, which taken from the, excuse me, I point, because it is not work. This fertilized over in the day 6 or 7, we take in the inner cell mass, which contains the embryonic stem cell. The reprogramming cell induced pluripotent stem cell, which Professor Dr. Shandon in the previous presentation speak about it. There is many methods of reprogramming of the cells and induced multi-potent stem cell or pluripotent stem cell. Also, we take stem cell from adult tissue as blood, bone marrow, and adipose tissue, and this giving multi-potent stem cell which can differentiate into neural cell, beta cell, of islet beta cell, blood cells, hepatocyte, cardiac cells, and others. The cells are the totipotent, which is the fertilized egg. And after 5 to 7 days, it is embryonic stem cell, which is pluripotent. And after that, it is adult stem cell, either cord blood or placental blood or cord water jelly. And for the bone marrow, it is a multipotent stem cell. Multipotent, which gives a variety of specific tissue by transdifferentiation. The potential use of stem cell in many diseases, in neurological diseases, stroke, traumatic brain injury, learning defects, Alzheimer's diseases, Parkinson's, in dentistry, missing teeth, wound healing, and other many applications, and in autoimmune diseases, in rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and multiple sclerosis, and others. This disorder treated by stem cell, progressive muscular, all of them is degenerative disease that don't, there's no hope for treatment of this. Progressive muscular dystrophy, spinal cord injury, cerebral palsy, ataxia, motor neuron disease, and femur head necrosis, and others. How does it work? In bone marrow transplantation, which FDA approved from 6 years, stem cell replace cell damage by chemotherapy to fight some types of cancer and blood-related diseases such as leukemia, lymphoma, multiple myeloma. These transplants use adult stem cell or umbilical cord blood stem cell. In autoimmune diseases, mesenchymal stem cells have been found to be effective in suppressing excessive immune responses, such as graft versus host disease and systemic lupus erythematosus in both animals and humans. Stem cell use in dentistry. There is many applications of stem cell industry in the dentistry, as in mandible bone defect. We're doing a graft with nano scaffold with a stem cell to elongate the mandible, or to elongate the mandible in malocclusion of the mandible, and in bone in these in dental implant in bone resorption. Extravesical based service, which is the new treatment more effective than stem cell, is one of mesenchymal stem cell product containing cytokines such as interleukin 6, 8, monocyte protective protein, vascular endothelial growth factor, platelet-derived growth factor, basic fibroblast growth factor, messenger RNAs, microRNAs, and non-coding RNAs, and several proteins. All of this, and especially the non-coding RNAs, create epigenetic regulators, which lead to the formation of epigenetic modification in resilient cell in congenital disease. This chart showing how stem cell, or mesenchymal stem cell, modulate the immune response by inhibit by these cytokines, which I mentioned before, and it inhibit proliferation of B cells, T cell, natural killer cell, and dendritic cell, and monocytes and macrophages. So it helps in autoimmune diseases powerfully more than the drugs that inhibit or destruct the immunity. It only regulate, it increases the T regulatory lymphocytes, the B regulatory cells, and the regulation of the immunity. This one of our animal studies in canine model for spinal cord injury. We doing cutting or crushing of the spinal cord to cause hind limb paralysis. As we show that there is hind limb paralysis, it can not move, and this is the control dose. After injection of stem cell, we classify these canine models into intact canine model and control canine model, which we're doing transection of the cord, and another injected by autologous bone marrow stem cell from the canine model. We stand again and turn. And after that, we harvest these animals and showing histological examination. We found that there is in the control group, which not injected by the stem cell, there is maceration and evacuation in the spinal cord, and the dogs which injected by stem cell becoming regenerated spinal cord with a nucleus and no evacuation. After that, we're doing hematopsia and eosine and the immune histochemistry staining, showing maximum cavity area, and showing the maceration here in the low power and high power, and the injected blue, there is no evacuation, and the maximum cavity. The maximum cavity become smaller than the control. Also, we showing the myelin-basing protein after injection of stem cell that increase in the curve, and the locomotor score, which and the frequency of hind limb movement in the animals. And then we were doing a multicolor immunofluorescence staining of stem cell of spinal cord injury sections from dog treated with autologous bone marrow stem cell stained with green fluorescent protein and doing multicolor for neurofilaments and the Dabi stain, showing new myelination, intense green fluorescent protein staining and the neurofilament was observed in the dorsal function, indicating peripheral hypertension. Then it is published in the American Journal of Clinical Detection at 20 and 8. And after that, we also published another paper which is by staining with green fluorescent protein to track the cells in cell transplant and published in PubMed. This other presentation, if you want to know about our work in stem cell, you can go to Google Scholar to show about more than 50 work in our studies. Treatment instruction and constant. The patient signs and informed concerns that he seeks stem cell therapy and knows that it is in the process of research and that it is not approved by the ministers of health, and that the results are not confirmed, and that the patient will bear the cost of the consumables, treatment, and post-treatment, and knows the possible side effects. We'll show one presentation case for the time. This is a patient with spinal muscular atrophy. ارفعي فوق كده. ممكن نوطي الصوت لو سمحت عشان الصوت عالي قوي بتاع او نلغي الصوت خالص يعني. دي patient عندها spinal muscular atrophy coming to me when she complaining from unknown relation. She had scoliosis, severe scoliosis and kyphosis. She can't sit without support from behind and from the side. She cannot elevate her arm and cannot move her wrist or fingers. She had respiratory failure and the tongue protruded outside. We will show the case. The آخر cannot elevate the arm more than that. آخر كده. طيب كده switch. There is deformity in the joint. هنا في deformity هنا اهو القدم لها العظم. وهنا القدم برضه نفس الموضوع في deformity. From the long time of wheelchair using and don't unregulation, there is deformity in the joints, and there is unsupported neck. She can unsupport her neck. She cannot elevate her arm to take the napkins from me, and cannot move her wrist or fingers at all. With any movement, no any movement before treatment. After 1 month of injection of stem cell, she can support her neck. She can sit with some support, and she can respirate freely, no tongue protrusion, and can move her legs. After that, we're doing another injection for 2 months. After 2 months, she can sit and without support, and I say to her that you supported her arm to the pillow, and she left it, and no support from behind or from beside, and she took that must before injection must support herself by in the side and in the back. Also, she can check her knee, can respirate freely, also no respiratory distress, can move her wrist and fingers, can open the door, can eat, can change her clothes. The quality of life become good. It is not becoming a normal patient, but it is different, and she can moving, we see, by the wheelchair to the front and to the back. Now she can do flexion and extension of the fingers, can extend her knee with the deformity, okay, but the muscles become powerful to move the joint. And I move the joint to show that before that I can't extend her knee or doing extension of her knee joint, but after injection by manual, by herself and by manual extension, I can't move her knee. So that we're showing the hip joint movement. She can flex and contract her knee. Flexion and extension of the hip joint. She can flex and extend and moving the knee joint and the hip. And she can elevate her back from the bed. Now she can, after 4 months, she can do that, moving with a wheelchair. Her legs before injection cannot touch the floor, because it is a short ligament and no movement at all. This patient now becoming more and more better.
She needs a continuous injection or
no?
She needs continuous injection with stem cells or?
No, we inject about 5 times for 5 months, and she doing physiotherapy with injection to, but she had this degenerative disease of spinal muscular atrophy, a congenital disease, that no treatment for these cases. And now the FDA approved an injection for spinal muscular atrophy for patients below 2 years. It is about $35,000 one injection, and the first patient taking this injection died. And this it is very cheaper than that more time. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we go forward? And the last